So another day. We're gonna have a look, or we're gonna finish the project we started yesterday with this weather data. So we're just gonna add a few more things to it, so the weather is working on all the pages. This afternoon we're gonna do something with authentication and authorization, meaning we could add like a required login for our application. But we're gonna do that in the afternoon, so we start with something new. So this morning, just finishing the weather part of our project.
Mats, before the final project, will there be time to talk about handling images in databases? Or it's better but just use the names and keep the images in the project?
Yeah, we're gonna have one lesson storing images in the database.
Perfect, thanks.
So that will be one of the days next week. So excuse me. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen here. So see what we had yesterday. Because you thought it was so easy yesterday, we're going to make it much more difficult today. It will be impossible to understand. No, it will not be that bad. So this is what we have now. So we have like this search for weather. This will always be on all the pages. So whatever page we go to, we have this search weather. But we don't have if we search weather here, Malmö, for example, and I move to another page, I want this information to be included all the time. So you see, as soon as I change to something else, it's disappearing. So I want to add this small thing. So we need to do something that is calling the weather controller on all the pages we end up in. So we're going to do that with a little bit of jQuery. We're also going to store like the information of the search in something called session, which is part of this HTTP. So it's connected to the page. So as long as this page is running, we could store data in the session. So let's start and not talk too much. So we need to make changes in the startup file. We're going to do changes in the layout view. And we're going to make changes in the controller. So let's see where we could start. We're going to implement something called session. So we're going to go for the startup. And we're going to go for this, configure services. And we're going to say that we have services and add session. So this is the one. So this will make it possible to store, like we're going to store the town information. So add session. And as always with this startup, you first have this configure services, and then you have the configure part where you're using it. So we're going to add this line also here. App use session. So now we have prepared it, so it will this session handling will work for us. So if we move on to the controller, the weather controller. We are always looking for input over town. So this is actually happening when we are doing a search. Now we're going to do the search on each page. So we will not be sending in anything in this town, but we're going to have a look in the storage if you store anything there. So we're going to use that data. So if we have stored Malmö, we're going to use Malmö all the time until it changes. So we're going to do something in the top here. I'm going to do some if statements here. Or actually we could do it like this. The first time you end up inside here and you run it, we have the information on what town we are in. And we could do this HTTP context text. We have this session, I was hoping. Context, I did write it wrong. Session. Thing should be. This is the way to set the data into this session. It's like it's missing something. Let's see what it's saying. Show potential fixes. Yeah, it's having need to use some HTTP parts. So this will hopefully help now. So you see that it's you could add like a key and a value. So I'm gonna name my key town. And the value that I'm gonna store is the town information. Name of the town. Excuse me, it's all this really annoying me. So this will set the information. So first time we come in here. We will store the information in the session. And we're going to do a check here. So the next time we come in here and we don't have any data from any search from the menu, we're going to see if we have any session information. So we're going to use that then. So I'm going to add a if statement in the beginning here. So if this string is null or empty, this means it's nothing here. Checking on the town. Then we're going to do something. Then we're going to try to get this town information from the session. And this is the same HTTP context. And it's session and get session this time. And you are asking for the key. And the key was the town. This will get, if we have anything inside this session, it will get this value. Otherwise, it will be empty, so it will be null or empty again. So we could make it just a stupid test afterwards also. So we just null or empty again after this, even after this action. We could add like a default town. We could say that this is. So we will always have some data. We could just solve this in many different ways. This is just, it should not be necessary. So you could like have another solution for that. But I'm just going to do this so we get the default value in. if we have nothing. So this is actually this is checking if we have anything inside the session. If we have it, we're going to use it. Excuse me. Yes. I'm going to close the microphone for 10 seconds. Okay, I'm back now here. So I had to make some noises. So sorry for that. Yeah,
no
so we are back.
No worries,
Sorry?
Mats. No worries. Do you
Okay,
do you have Nailica at your home?
No.
Okay, it's good to have it.
Okay. So we go on here. So we just made this check. If we have something in the session, we're going to use it. Or the other way around, when we have a town for the first time, we will pass this if cases, and we will set the session. So we want to have something in the session all the time. So if I run this, nothing much will happen actually. We could just try it to see it's working still. So we are here now. We could try that this is working now. Yes, it's still working. So now we want to have this to be in, I don't know why this styling is jumping. Maybe someone knows. You see now when I move to different tabs, I want to have the weather information. So I'm going to do something in the layout view, and I'm going to do some JavaScript there. So we have this layout, the one that is shared, that all the pages are using. So we're going to add like a little bit of script in the bottom of that one. So I will add some script here. And I could use some jQuery, checking for a document, ready. This is something that will happen when a page is loaded. That. And we're going to do a jQuery with a Ajax call. We're going to call the controller again, like we did the normal search. So we could do it like this. We're going to make it a little bit shorter this time. I'm going to have a URL. And the URL is going to the controller. Controller is the weather. And the action is the weather task. Like that. And this is by default, this is a get. So I'm just going to go for success right away. Normally you could like add all this. all these types and so on. But this will work like by default also with these things. And I'm going to get some data from this weather task. And I will set this data into this weather position. That, and this is the HTML. So this is calling the weather controller and the weather task, and getting the partial view from this weather controller. You remember it's returning a partial view. So this is, and it's inserting the data into this position where this ID is. And where did we add this? Yeah, this is the ID here. So into this position, it will add the partial view. So this is like the way the normal search also does it. But we are running this every time we have the document is loaded. So let's see if this does something at all. Oh, you see already now we get Malmö. This is because we have this hard-coded data for the town, but it uses Malmö if it's not finding anything else. So if you search for something, maybe Helsingborg, make a search. We have 7 degrees in Helsingborg. We go to our home page. You will see we have the weather. Privacy has the weather. Cars has the weather. Go to create new. We have the weather. You see now, so every time you go to a new page, it will search for the weather with this JavaScript thing. So this is one way to do it. It's not optimal because what's happening every time we change page? Yes, we go to the weather controller, and the weather controller is connecting to this web API all the time. So this is a little bit problematic. So this could be solved by, I'm not going to show you anything about it, but it could be solved by like caching some data that you have. You're storing some weather data, so you don't need to go to the external web API. So if this would be a big site with millions of users, each user, each time it's changing the page, it would go for this external web API. And you remember in this case, this would cost money. So if you're using many calls to it, it will cost money. So you could do this smarter with this by not getting this weather data so often, maybe, or getting it, storing it to your database. So you could like get the weather in some with some timing and so on. So you could use the weather stored locally in your database, maybe, or you could store it in the session also. Add some extra things. Excuse me. So this is just to show. Sorry. This is just to show you how it's working. So, do we have any questions on this? This was just by adding these things to the page, so it's having data all the time. So after lunch, we're gonna use some authorization and authentication, so we could protect our application, so we can limit the user who can use it and so on. That's another thing. You don't have any more questions about this web API thing with the weather?
In a view, just I have one question regarding the header. It's changed every time when we click on a new page. So it's
Yes.
changed as
So
well
this
every
is-
time.
Yeah, this
So
is
is this possible
refreshing.
to have the top menu? It should be stay just static, not changing every time. So in that way, actually, if we wanted to have the weather, so it should become only one time when someone is load a page.
Yes, but then you need to do a different setup for a complete application. Then you need to have this more like a single page application that this would always be running, and you just will be changing the things below.
Yeah.
So that is possible also, but it's a different approach for that. So it's not done with the one code line. Anything else? Saeed, you're having your microphone on still.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyone else do still have things to do with the material? Neurosite.
Definitely.
Okay, perfect. Anyone feeling that you don't have anything to do yet? So still, or you think you're finished now with the course?
No.
So you think you have still
that
things to learn?
Stupidity.
Okay, so that's great. So see you again after lunch, and then we do something different. So you don't need to check the weather in Helsingborg anymore. Anyone living in Helsingborg, by the way?
Yes.
Is it correct, the weather here?
Yes, it's correct.
Perfect. Okay. See you at 1 o'clock then.
Thanks. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.